Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most notable movie sequels that surpassed the original's popularity in terms of cultural perception, box office returns, or both. Spoilers ahead, so be warned.
Just put up your hand and say, I swear I won't kill anyone.
I swear I will not kill anyone.
Number 10. Rambo, First Blood Part 2. Original, First Blood.
You remember Murdoch said he's with the 2nd Battalion, 3rd Marines at Khartoum in 66?
Yeah.
The 2nd Battalion was like Fred sank. You're the only one I trust.
The Rambo franchise is known for its wild action sequences, exotic locations, and high kill count. At the center is John Rambo, the macho hero who always saves the day in dramatic fashion. However, most of these hallmarks are notably absent in the first film. First Blood is a character-driven drama, following the Vietnam War veteran as he adjusts to life in a small town. While the movie does include some action sequences, Rambo operates alone, with a body count of 1.
I could have killed them all. I could have killed you. In town, you're the law. Out here, it's me. Don't push it.
Ultimately, he ends up in jail. It wasn't until Rambo First Blood Part 2 that the franchise fully embraced the signature style that came to define it. There were far more deaths, more explosions, and ultimately more money at the box office.
The war, everything that happened here may be wrong, but damn it, don't hate your country for it.
Hey, I die for it.
Number 9. Bride of Frankenstein. Original Frankenstein.
Oh. Good.
Not only is this the oldest film on our list, but it was also the first horror movie sequel ever made. Released 4 years after the original, it picks up right where its predecessor left off. The film draws inspiration from a subplot in Mary Shelley's original Frankenstein novel, but expands it into a largely original story. Bride of Frankenstein garnered praise for its technical achievements and character developments, both upon release and in the decades since. Many consider it to be one of the greatest sequels of all time and director James Whale's masterpiece. In 2005, Time magazine added it to its list of all-time 100 movies, going against its original review from the 1930s and declaring it superior to the original.
What is it now? The monster. He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me.
Number 8. Toy Story 2. Original Toy Story.
Buzz, it was a national phenomenon. And there was all this merchandise that just got packed up. Oh, you should have seen it. There was a record player and a yo-yo. Buzz, I was a yo-yo.
Pixar revolutionized animation with the release of the first Toy Story movie in 1995. Initially, producers wanted to make a direct-to-video sequel, but they soon recognized its potential as a theatrical release and shifted gears with just 9 months left until the release date. What they came up with was a more emotionally complex and mature film whose characters dealt with deeper themes like the loss of friendship, overcoming adversity, and even mortality.
How long will it last, Woody? Do you really think Andy is going to take you to college? Or on his honeymoon? Andy's growing up, and there's nothing you can do about it.
To top it off, they still injected a lot of fun moments. While fans are split over what the best film in the series is, Toy Story 2 has earned the top spot in the eyes of many critics, even if it may not have been the most profitable.
Oh, someone's coming!
Ooh, a puppy!
Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark.
Number 7. Friday the 13th Part 3. Original Friday the 13th. When people think of Friday the 13th, the image of killer Jason Voorhees wearing a hockey mask most likely springs to mind. It's easy to assume that this iconic costume was part of Jason's look from the start, but it actually wasn't. In the first film, the character only appears as a child in a dream sequence, with his mother doing all the killing.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
Then, in Friday the 13th Part 2, Jason becomes the main antagonist, but he wears a hood. It wasn't until Friday the 13th Part 3 that he donned the iconic mask after stealing it from one of his victims. Originally intended to conclude the trilogy, this film instead launched a franchise, giving it a key part of its iconography.
No!
Number 6. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Original: Puss in Boots.
Ha! I am Puss in Boots. I am no one's lapcat.
When you wait over a decade to make a sequel, it can provide you with ample time to refine and enhance the project. That seemed to have been the case with 2022's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, a sequel to 2011's Puss in Boots and an installment in the larger Shrek universe. Producers had begun planning the sequel only a year after the original, but several delays stalled progress until it was revived in 2018.
Go get him, Tiger.
Hey, take it easy.
Upon its release 4 years later, critics praised The Last Wish for its strong character development, compelling themes, and exceptional voice acting. Given the advancements in animation techniques since, it's no surprise this film was also lauded for its improved visual style.
Say hello to my gatito blade.
Number 5. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Original: Star Trek the Motion Picture.
Any suggestions, Admiral?
Prayer, Mr. Savick. The Klingons don't take prisoners.
Lights.
With the original series thriving in syndication and the box office success of films like Star Wars, bringing Star Trek to the big screen seemed like a logical next step. However, while Star Trek the Motion Picture was a moderate success, it failed to meet studio expectations.
Moving into that cloud at this time is an unwarranted gamble.
How do you define unwarranted?
The film's slow pacing, lack of action sequences, and absence of a clear villain were some of the problems pointed out. In response, Paramount removed creative control from Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry and brought in director Nicholas Meyer, producer Harve Bennett, and writer Jack B. Sowards. Together, they delivered a fast-paced, action-filled crowd-pleaser for less money. It reinvigorated interest in the franchise, as many found it closer to the original series in pacing and style.
I have been, and always shall be, your friend.
Number 4. The Godfather Part 2. Original: The Godfather.
My father taught me many things here. He taught me in this room. He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Francis Ford Coppola's iconic Mafia follow-up didn't feature Marlon Brando as Vito Corleone, whose character died at the end of the first movie. But it did have a younger Vito, played in flashbacks by Robert De Niro. This approach allowed Coppola to expand the scope of the narrative into a full-blown Corleone family epic. That way, he could explore both the aftermath of the original story, with Al Pacino's Michael Corleone running the family business, and events from decades earlier. This artistic vision, along with what many critics consider Pacino's greatest performance, put it at least on par with, and for some, better than the original. It was also the first sequel to ever win the Academy Award for Best Picture.
He's on a plane back to Sicily.
All he had to do was show his face.
It was between the brothers, Kay. I had nothing to do with it.
Number 3. Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Original: The Terminator.
Get down.
Critical response to James Cameron's first time-traveling cyborg story was respectable, and the film performed better at the box office than the studio had anticipated. It even held the #1 spot for a few weeks. By contrast, its sequel is frequently referred to as the greatest action movie of all time and was the highest-grossing movie of 1991. The special effects in Terminator 2: Judgment Day were groundbreaking in the 90s, and they still remain influential over 3 decades later, often serving as a benchmark for many filmmakers.
Get out.
The movie also originated countless pop culture references and memes, while cementing the legacy of the Terminator franchise. While the original film is still solid, it is most memorable for the excellent sequel it spawned.
Hey, Janelle. What's wrong with Wolfie? I can hear him barking. Is he okay?
Wolfie's fine, honey. Wolfie's just fine. What are you?
Your foster parents are dead.
Number 2. Star Wars Episode 5: The Empire Strikes Back. Original: Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
You don't have to do this to impress me.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
When George Lucas was making the first Star Wars movie, he didn't expect to make another one, despite having 12 stories already thought out. To keep the possibility of a sequel alive, he left Darth Vader off the Death Star. The decision ultimately proved to be a wise one, as the massive success of the first movie provided Lucas and director Irvin Kershner with the resources to expand the universe in the sequel.
We have a new enemy. The young rebel who destroyed the Death Star.
They introduced new planets and now iconic characters like Yoda and Lando, and ended the film on a dark note, signaling that the story was far from over. Many now consider The Empire Strikes Back not just the best film in the original trilogy, but the best Star Wars installment, period.
He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Top Gun Maverick, original Top Gun. Because waiting 26 years to follow up gave Tom Cruise his first billion-dollar hit.
Too late. You had your chance. That's a kill. Not enough.
Evil Dead 2, original The Evil Dead. This sequel garnered critical praise by comedically reimagining the original. Desperado, original El Mariachi. Following up a small indie with a Hollywood budget and stars can change the reception. Spider-Man 2, original Spider-Man. This raised the bar for mature comic book movies in the pre-Nolan era. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, The Dark Knight, original Batman Begins.
What gives you the right? What's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Taking Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy as a whole, Batman Begins establishes the darker, grittier tone of the series and gets the ball rolling. Meanwhile, The Dark Knight Rises brings things to a resolution, tying up the trilogy's overarching themes. These two films serve as the bookends to the centerpiece, or some would argue masterpiece, that is The Dark Knight.
What does Harvey know about you and his little bunny?
Where are they?
Killing is making a choice.
Where are they?
This installment dives into the story's dramatic and emotional core, with Batman having to choose between saving Bruce Wayne's love and the city's public hero. It also brings Gotham's corruption to the forefront, causing the noble Harvey Dent to transform into Two-Face. Most notably, it features the late Heath Ledger's chilling portrayal of the Joker, widely considered the best version of the iconic villain.
I think you and I are destined to do this forever.
You'll be in a better jail forever.
Maybe we could share one. You know, they'll be doubling up the rate this city's inhabitants are losing their minds.
Do you agree with our list? Are there any top-tier sequels that we may not have thought of? Let us know in the comments. Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.